Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Brainbean here again. After releasing my review of the Alloy Elite RGB, looking through the comments, a lot of you guys commented on how similar it is to the K95 Platinum. And during my entire review of it, I was thinking the exact same thing. So I thought, what better keyboards to do a comparison on? So that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. We're going to do a quick head-to-head, take a look at the keyboards, and I want you guys to let me know in those comments down below which one is your favorite. But without any further ado, let's take a look at these keyboards. As always, we're going to start this comparison off by looking at the keyboard's construction and design. Both keyboards are sporting a metal frame, which makes them feel more sturdy and gives them an added level of quality. The K95 Platinum has a brushed aluminum backplate that looks really sharp, but it also does attract some dust, meaning that you do need to keep it clean. It also comes in black and gunmetal gray, while the Alloy Elite has a steel backplate that is a flat black that won't attract as much dirt. In terms of overall build quality, both keyboards are pretty equal in all regards except when it comes to the included wrist rests. The wrist rest on the Alloy Elite is pretty flimsy, it's plastic, and it just doesn't feel all that great. The dual-sided rubber magnetic wrist rest of the K95 Platinum is miles better, both in feel and in overall function. Looking around the keyboards, both boards come with RGB enabled dedicated media keys, with the Alloy Elite giving you the standard 4 buttons and a plastic volume scroll wheel, while the K95 Platinum gives you a little bit more by adding a mute button and a textured metal volume scroll wheel for a little bit more of a quality feel. Both keyboards have a bit of branding on them. The K95 Platinum has an RGB enabled Corsair logo at the top of the board, while the Alloy Elite has a silver HyperX logo above the number pad. Now this one can go either way depending on your preference when it comes to branding. The Alloy Elite also has a simple HyperX logo on the spacebar, which I actually think is a good use of the limited lighting on spacebars. On the flip side of that, Corsair's spacebar is textured in a diamond plate pattern. At the top of both keyboards you'll find an RGB light bar. The positioning is slightly different, and I suppose that this one is mostly just going to come down to personal preference. As for their overall performance, that largely depends on the capabilities of the software, which we're going to get into in just a little bit. Located at the top left of both keyboards, you're going to find 3 almost identical dedicated buttons. The first one is for changing lighting profiles, which both keyboards can have up to 3 profiles saved directly onto the board's memory. The second lets you toggle between 3 brightness settings and also turns off the lights. As for the third button, it's a little bit different on both keyboards. The K95's puts the keyboard in a Windows lock mode, while the Alloy Elite puts the keyboards in game mode, which also does lock the Windows keys, but you can change it to do other functions as well in the software. The main difference between this set of dedicated keys is that Corsair's buttons are illuminated while HyperX's are not. Both keyboards have a USB pass-through at almost identical locations at the back of the board, and as a result, both boards also have thick braided cables that split into 2 USB connectors. The LED indicators on the K95 Platinum are made up of small, simple white circular indicators and includes one for each of its respective functions. The Alloy Elites are also simple white LEDs, but are square-shaped, and they switched out the scroll lock indicator for the one for the gaming mode, which is kind of a weird idea. One clear difference between the two is the K95 Platinum comes with a row of 6 dedicated textured macro keys, and I can see this being a pretty important factor for some of us that play games that really take advantage of the extra keys. I personally really prefer to have a few dedicated macro keys, especially when playing MMOs or other RPGs. Another big difference between the two is the types of switches offered. The K95 Platinum is only offered in Cherry MX Speeds and Browns, and while Browns are my personal favorite, I've always thought that not offering a blue version on the K95 Platinum was kind of a weird choice. The Alloy Elite, however, takes a more practical approach and offers a switch type for everybody by offering the board in blue, brown, and red switches. I have both my Alloy Elite and my K95 Platinum in Cherry MX Browns, and for fun, here's a quick back-to-back sound test. Both keyboards do have a floating key design, and coupled with the clear switch bodies of the Cherry MX RGB switches makes for a fairly similar aesthetic appearance. On the underside of the K95 Platinum, there's also a cable routing management system that's meant for running something like a headset through the board so that you don't have to have cables potentially getting in your way during gaming. It also makes it really convenient when plugging it through the USB pass-through, and the Alloy Elite unfortunately just does not have this feature. As for the software controlling both of these keyboards, well, it's not that much of a toss-up, unfortunately. HyperX's Ingenuity software allows for you to create custom profiles and macros and do some basic layering of up to 2 lighting effects. It's intuitive and simple, but there just aren't many lighting presets to play with. Only 6 in fact, making it feel pretty light. You do get the standard classic lighting presets we all know and love, and you can create your own custom lighting profiles, but what you can do with the Ingenuity software just pales in comparison to the power of Corsair's Q2 software. The ability to create and share multi-layered effects and the sheer mind-boggling amount of things that you can create with it just makes it a no-brainer in terms of the software. Just keep in mind though, while Q has gotten more user-friendly than it previously was, it still does take a little bit more time to learn the software and get the more in-depth nuances. Both boards come with ABS keycaps. The font on the K95 Platinum is obviously more exaggerated, and while it does let more light through the keys, it's also a bit more in your face. The Alloy Elite opts for a much more simple clean font that I personally prefer, but again, this one is more purely personal preference. Both boards also include some extra more stylized keycaps. The K95 Platinum includes 2 sets of rubber textured keycaps and a keycap puller. You get a set of WASD and QWERDF for you mobile players, while the Alloy Elite gives you 8 plastic textured keycaps for 1, 2, 3, 4 and WASD, as well as a keycap puller. And while it's nice to have the extra caps, they aren't really necessary for everybody, but I do think the quality of the rubber texture caps from Corsair just gives you a little bit more of a premium feel. So as you guys can see, after running down the list of features for both keyboards, there's a lot of similarities. Ultimately, if you're trying to decide between these two keyboards, it's going to come down to what features you value the most. Is it the dedicated macro keys or more powerful software of the K95 Platinum, or maybe it's the clean look and rock solid feel of the Alloy Elite? With an MSRP of $199, the K95 Platinum is a little bit more expensive, although it often goes on sale for around $150 on Amazon as it currently sits right now. The Alloy Elite has a slightly more affordable MSRP of $169.99, but as it's pretty new, I haven't seen it go on sale yet. In the end, both are fantastic keyboards and have a very high level of quality. Well, that's it for the comparison, guys. Let me know in those comments down below which of these two keyboards is your favorite. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Give this video a big thumbs up. If you're new here on the channel, I'd love to see you subscribe because I do have a lot more content coming for you in the near future. And if you're interested, you can follow me on Twitter at Brainbean Gaming, where I do have exclusive giveaways to the Twitter channel as well as some other stuff. So check that out as well. Well, that's it for the video, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.